How to get ready for breaking power moves and freezes. In this video we are going to talk about the strength. There is also the mobility aspect, but we are not going to talk about that in this video. So let's see some basic strength exercises that are going to be useful to get more stability for your freezes and for your power moves. The first one is the plank. You can do it straight or on the side. Stay on your forearms, on your elbows, in this way. Contract and engage your glutes and try to stay in a straight line. Don't be arched, so don't stay like this. If you are a little bit with your hips up, it's still okay. The important thing is that you don't arch your back. How long should you maintain this position? It really depends on your level. If you're strong enough, maybe you don't even need this exercise. So this is very basic. You should test it first. If you can stay longer than 3, 4 or even 5 minutes, maybe you don't need this exercise. But if you can stay less than 1 minute or maybe a little bit more than 1 minute only, I really recommend doing it. For each exercise, I really recommend doing maybe 3 sets and using like 70 or 80% of your maximum strength. So for example, if you test this one and your maximal is 1 minute, do 3 sets of around 45 seconds, something like this, and rest around 2 minutes in between each set. Second exercise is the side plank. This time you're gonna stay on one arm like this. You can support yourself a little bit with the fingertips of the other hand, but if you have enough stability, just remove the other hand and you can stay in this way. Also here, contract your glutes. Your shoulders should stay above your elbow, so don't stay like this too much, and also don't stay in this way, but try to stay kind of above your elbow with your shoulder. Same thing here, you can do 3 sets, even maybe just 2 is okay, and then repeat it on the other side as well, for the same timing. So even if one side is stronger and the other one is weaker, try to stay the same timing, so with time both of your sides are gonna work equally. Third exercise, push-ups. Also here, engage your glutes. Many people do the push-ups with the arms kind of wide, in this way, and they flare the elbows in this way. In my opinion, it's not wrong, even if many people say it's wrong. It depends from your shoulder mobility, actually. If you lack of shoulder mobility, it can be a little bit dangerous for your shoulders. If you are kind of strong a little bit and flexible, it's okay, you can do also with your arms like this. But even better, if you stay closer together with your arms, and if your hands are placed a little bit backwards, so not same side. If my shoulders are here, I want to lean a little bit forward, just a little bit, not too much, it's not like this, but also don't stay too much like this. Try to lean just a little bit forward, and with your elbows, try to go in. So try to not flare your elbows out like this, but try to stay in with your elbows really close to the side. Engage your glutes and go. 1, 2, 3. Also here, don't stay arched. If you're not sure if you're straight, maybe you can exaggerate a little more and try to stay a little bit, not completely straight, but a little bit like this. It's not wrong. Fourth exercise, pike push-ups. What is the difference between the normal push-ups and the pike push-ups? In the normal push-ups, you're gonna work on your chest a little bit more. In the pike push-ups, you're gonna work on your shoulders a little bit more. So this time, you wanna stay in this position here, kind of like a triangle. And from here, you go down until you touch with your forehead the floor, and then you come back up. Also here, try to not flare the elbows in this way, but try to go down like this. If this one is too easy for you, the pike push-up, you can do it with your feet elevated a little bit. You can lean the feet on a chair or even on a wall, and the more you elevate your feet, the more it's gonna become kind of like a handstand push-up. So this exercise, the pike push-up, is gonna be very useful for the handstand push-up. Next exercise, the L-sit. You already probably know about it because I talk about it a lot in my videos, because I think it's very useful for flares, for the core, for the hips flexors, and for the shoulders. So it's a very useful exercise that not only work on your strength, but also on your mobility a little bit, especially if you try to lift up the legs more and to make it look more like a V-sit. So it's a very, very useful exercise in my opinion. How to do it? You sit on the floor, legs straight, place your hands on the side and push your hips up. From here, you can go a little bit more backwards with your hips and lift your legs up. If this is too hard to do, you can lift up one leg at a time, one leg and hold, and then switch other leg and hold. If it's still too hard and you cannot lift one leg, just stay like this in this position and hold. If you're not flexible and it hurts your hamstrings, you can bend your legs a little bit. So instead of being straight, you can stay like this and do the same thing. Push and hold, bend one leg, lift up, and also lift up the other one. And if you feel ready, try to lift up both, and you can keep the legs bent in this way. With time, you can try to get more straight with your legs. And if you're more advanced, with time you can try to lift up your feet more. The L-sit is a very nice exercise because you can evolve it based on your level. So you can start very easy without even lifting up the feet off the floor, just lifting up your hips, or maybe just lifting up one foot at a time. Then you can lift up both feet. And then if you are more advanced, you can lift up your feet more and more until it becomes a V-sit or eventually a E-sit, I think it's called. So when your legs are completely perpendicular to the floor, or even a mana, which is even harder, lifting up your hips. And I cannot do it at the moment. Last exercise, tuck planche. Also this one, I talk a lot about it in my videos because also this one is very useful and it's very good for your shoulders. In this one, it's a little bit similar to the L-sit. The progression is very similar. This time you start on your knees, you lean your hands on the side, you try to push with your shoulders like this, down, and you want to round your back a little bit. Don't stay completely straight with your back, but try to round your back because you want to push your shoulders down. After pushing your shoulders down like this, you lift up one knee and even one foot and then the other. If you feel ready, try to lift up both knees, lean forward a little bit and then lift up the feet. If you are flexible enough on your wrists, you can try to lean your hands forward instead of sideways. But be careful because if you're not flexible enough, it could stress your wrists. So make sure to warm up your wrist first. Again, same like the L-sit, you can progress this exercise very gradually, lifting up one knee at a time and then eventually lifting up both knees. If you have some books or some blocks like yoga blocks or some small parallels or even some high parallels, you can try with those and it's going to be a little bit easier because you don't need to lift up the legs so much since you have more space and so your legs can be a little bit lower. Same for the L-sit. If you have something elevated, you can put your hands on. You can try it because you're going to stay with your legs a little lower and then with time you can reduce the size of the object you're using. So for example, if you're using tall parallels, then you can use something smaller and then something even smaller until you reach the floor. Also, the tuck planche is very cool because you can progress it. It can become very advanced. If the tuck planche is too easy for you, you can try first a higher tuck planche. So it's kind of like the same. You just try to lift your hips higher. From here, you push and you lift. And you try to stay more like this. If it's still too easy for you, you can advance even more and you can try to do an advanced tuck planche, which is way harder. For the advanced tuck planche, you don't want to lift up your hips too much. You want to kind of stay low, but you want to push your knees kind of here. So not staying with the knees at the level of your arms anymore, but stay with your knees in this direction, okay? So it will look more like this. This is already a little bit advanced. If you want to become even more advanced, you can try the straddle planche or even the full planche, but I think it's too advanced for this video. So you can try all these exercises, put them in a workout. You can do 3 sets of each exercise, hold them for how long you want based on your level. You can adapt the L-sit, you can adapt the tuck planche, you can even adapt the pike push-ups, and you can stay with your legs higher if it's too easy for you. About the planks, you can decide if to do them or not based on your level. If they are too easy, you can skip them. If you are just a beginner, I really recommend doing the planks. If you will need more help for your breaking, check out my website. I will leave the link in the description. You can find PDF guides, video courses, and coaching plans. Let me know in the comments which videos you would like to see and see you next time with a new video. Yo, ninjas!